We're back on Leading Edge. The issue is fake news. Yes, it is a real thing, and it's something that my guest, Dr. Christy Galletta Horner, Assistant Professor at Bowling Green State University, has recently researched. You got to work with your dad on this project too, right?
I did. It was amazing.
I think that is really, really cool. What troubled you most about the findings in your research?
Yes, I'm very troubled to think that people are not only willing to let fake news just kind of pass by them without trying to step in and even kind of contribute to it, even on purpose. But I'm concerned about one of the sentiments that we heard, which is essentially, it doesn't matter if it's true, it's close enough. Sometimes people would kind of explain their lack of pushing back as saying, well, you know, that person might as well have done that. It's close enough to something that they would do. So I think that's dangerous. I think that the truth really matters and that we should all really care about making sure that we're not perpetrating these false stories.
What do you want people, not that this was what motivated you in the research, but what do you want people, my viewers, the folks who are watching us right now, to take away from your findings?
So I think one place that we might be able to help a little bit with this problem, because it is a problem that I think is damaging for all of us and for our democracy, I think that's within our own echo chambers, where we know that people are agreeing with us in social media spaces in terms of just our ideologies. That's probably where we have the most clout to say, you know, I agree with you in terms of, you know, all this stuff. I just, this particular piece of news that you just shared is not true. This is fake. It's not a good source. And you know, trying to convince people to take those down and to stop spreading them around.
In a way, that's kind of asking a lot of people, though, isn't it? I mean, I think we have just sat back for decades and just been consumers, and we know that person on TV, especially that Jerry Anderson, because he was always a straight shooter. No, but with that person on TV, well, Walter Cronkite, a news anchor at CBS for years, was voted repeatedly the most trusted man in America. So we didn't have to do the work on checking our sources. But when we check our sources, I would ask you this: looking for what? Now, this is where it gets tricky. Looking for what?
Sure. A lot of the fake news is actually terribly easy to spot. It's not, you know, we can talk separately about perhaps misinformation that's coming from major news sources, but that's not the issue I'm talking about. I'm talking about completely fabricated, news outlets that don't even exist, that people have just kind of created something that looks like a piece of news and they're sending it around. And it's very easy to spot. I would also say that you can, look at the media bias chart. I think the media bias chart is a fantastic resource.
Where do we get that?
Oh, let's see. If you Google media bias charts,
we'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. It's fantastic. They've just come out with a new one. I think it's Ad Fontes Media is how you say that. And it's, I'm looking at it right now.
But what do we do with this? What do we do with this, Christy? Because somebody out there will say, well, yeah, see, that's just the media telling us we should believe. In other words, what's credible to one person totally lacks believability in the mind of someone else. It isn't that what happens and what has happened. This is what gets me. When the lines are so blurred that people might actually question, well, who says they're telling the truth? Who determines what truth is? I mean, we've really kind of blurred the line. I have, and I hope, but I think it has been.
I understand a lot of people really feel confused about that. I think that the creator of this, and I cannot remember her name right now. She's fantastic. I think Otero may be her last name. She said something that I thought was just brilliant. So if you look at this media bias chart and you think that everything is slanted, essentially you think that the middle is on one end or the other.
Yeah.
That's probably a problem, because there is such thing as a middle. There are things that are slanted to the right and slanted to the left. And so, if you look at this and say, no, the middle is actually way over here at the right and everything else is slanted to the left, or the middle is way at the left, everything is slanted right. You might need to reconsider that, because certainly there are things that are slanted toward your views.
That is, I think I still maintain, I know I'm giving my age away here, I still think that's where most of America is. And I've heard politicians, some that I really respect, say either centrist, center left, center right, but neither extreme can win election on their own. It's all done in here. This is fascinating stuff. Thank you for spending your time with us on an important subject. Folks, do the extra work. Inform yourselves if necessary. Call out those who are spreading around misinformation, disinformation, and doing it purposely. My thanks for being with us, and let's talk again soon. Christy Galletta Horner, Associate Professor Dr. Galletta Horner from Bowling Green State University. Good to be with you.
Thanks for having me.
And I'll be right back after this.